the sphincter ani externus behind, and the bulbo cavernosus in front. Action. The simultaneous contraction of the two muscles serves to fix the central tendinous point of the perineum. The bulbo cavernosus, sphincter vaginae, surrounds the orifice of the vagina. It covers the lateral parts of the vestibular bulbs, and is attached posteriorly to the central tendinous point of the perineum, where it blends with the sphincter ani externus. Its fibers pass forward on either side of the vagina to be inserted into the corpora cavernosa clitoridis, a fasciculus crossing over the body of the organ so as to compress the deep dorsal vein. Actions. The bulbo cavernosus diminishes the orifice of the vagina. The anterior fibers contribute to the erection of the clitoris, as they are inserted into and are continuous with the fascia of the clitoris, compressing the deep dorsal vein during the contraction of the muscle. The ischio cavernosus, erector clitoridis, is smaller than the corresponding muscle in the male. It covers the unattached surface of the crus clitoridis. It is an elongated muscle, broader at the middle than at either end, and situated on the side of the lateral boundary of the perineum. It arises by tendinous and fleshy fibers from the inner surface of the tuberosity of the ischium, behind the crus clitoridis, from the surface of the crus, and from the adjacent portion of the ramus of the ischium. From these points fleshy fibers succeed and end in an aponeurosis, which is inserted into the sides and under surface of the crus clitoridis. Actions. The ischio cavernosus compresses the crus clitoridis and retards the return of blood through the veins, and thus serves to maintain the organ erect. The fascia of the urogenital diaphragm in the female is not so strong as in the male. It is attached to the pubic arch, its apex being connected with the arcuate pubic ligament. It is divided in the middle line by the aperture of the vagina, with the external coat of which it becomes blended, and in front of this is perforated by the urethra. Its posterior border is continuous, as in the male, with the deep layer of the superficial fascia around the transversus perinei superficialis. Like the corresponding fascia in the male, it consists of two layers, between which are to be found the following structures: the deep dorsal vein of the clitoris, a portion of the urethra and the constrictor urethra muscle, the larger vestibular glands and their ducts, the internal pudendal vessels, and the dorsal nerves of the clitoris, the arteries and nerves of the bulbi vestibuli, and a plexus of veins. The transversus perinei profundus arises from the inferior rami of the ischium, and runs across to the side of the vagina. The sphincter urethrae membranaceae, constrictor urethrae, like the corresponding muscle on the male, consists of external and internal fibers. The external fibers arise on either side from the margin of the inferior ramus of the pubis. They are directed across the pubic arch in front of the urethra, and pass around it to blend with the muscular fibers of the opposite side, between the urethra and vagina. The innermost fibers encircle the lower end of the urethra. Nerve supply. The muscles of this group are supplied by the perineal branch of the pudendal. End of section 41.